Okay, and it went live. All right. I'm going to give some time for some people to get into the room. This is not what I wanted to do with my day. I look on the internet for news and things that are relevant to trucking, and I put it up. And I educate people and, you know, keep them up to speed. And I also do videos on mechanical stuff. This is not something I'd want to talk about, report on, whatever you call it. This is not my idea of a good time. This is not going to be an enjoyable break, but I'm going to put it up there anyways. Maybe now this is saying maybe just me putting this out there and all the people that I reach, this could possibly have somebody double check something that could be avoided. This one couldn't be avoided, but maybe someone will check something that could be avoided, and it might be helpful. I don't know. I just felt like no one else has reported on this other than one obscure newspaper that I have a link for that I don't believe it's made national news. So I'm like, well, I want other drivers to know about it. So I've got a couple in the room. I'll go ahead and tell you guys about it now, and I'm gonna put up a link to it. It was in Mississippi on I-10. It was a 21-year-old girl. I'm gonna call her a girl. I mean, I guess 21, you're a woman, but 21-year-old girl. She was in college, I guess. And I'm not gonna say her name, but the name is in the link in the thing, and she has a family, and there's people that's affected by this. But because I am telling drivers about this, and think of this as a safety video, something to remind you of what you might, you know, already know, but you gotta always check this stuff. I'm sure it's gonna come back on the mechanic, because the police say that the driver, they said, is likely not at fault, which is the first time I've ever heard, as high as the insurance is on the driver and all that stuff, which is still the company's, you know, the company's property caused damage, so it's still gonna be on the company. But it's the first time I've ever heard of an accident where the police actually said, we don't believe that the driver would be at fault. So, they came off of a Dana trailer. As far as I know, Dana's always tankers. I don't know, but it was two wheels that were bolted together. They said that they were flying tires. That's how they described them. So these two wheels bolted together, they said the weight was 500 pounds. I believe that's about right for a set of wheels. I don't know if the drum held on to that or not, but they were all bolted, and I don't know if they were inner and outer bud type lug nuts, because you got to keep in mind, one set of lug nuts on most trucks, the newer ones, are outer, and that's it. Just one lug nut on the outside holds two rims on. But in the 90s and before, a lot of trucks, you know, they're left hand and right hand. A lot of trucks, oh, thank you for the like. I don't like it myself. So a lot of trucks are inner and outer lug nuts. So if it's an inner and outer, it makes perfect sense that the two rims are together. If not, if it's an outer lug nut, that means that it would be two rims and a brake drum, and no, it'd have to be the brake drum too. It would have to be all of that. That would have to be an axle, or it would have to be either the axle would have broke, or it would have been the inside of the hub. I guess you call it the hub itself. The hub would have had to come off. So it's on a trailer. Somehow the wheels were bolted together. Must have been inner and outer bud type. I'm not gonna believe anything else. So I've already figured that out. I mean, just in 2 seconds. And I'm sure, since they're not blaming the driver, but the company's automatically gonna be, of course, liable, I believe what's gonna happen is, I believe they're probably already poured over all of the maintenance records for that trailer. And this is why I've told people before, but I'm gonna say it on this video. If you have work done on a trailer, let's see, we're just talking about this tire stuff. Yeah, just for a second here, and then I'm gonna have to get. But I mean, hey, if you want to say something, go ahead and I'll read your comment, Joe. But this was something I had to get out, and I'm gonna put a link to it. But I was saying that anytime you have any maintenance done to a truck, as a driver, in order for you to relieve yourself of liability and also to show a record of it, you're supposed to, on a paper DVR, if you do a post trip, you're supposed to have them sign it. If you're on the computer log, you definitely want to keep with you for however many days, a long time. I would say keep record, even if it's not your trailer, and you drop it somewhere else. Keep record of the maintenance on that, even for yourself, to cover yourself. That is signed by the mechanic, of course, and his notes are in there. It's through the computer. Don't just leave without a copy of that, because if it happens down the road and before you get to a scale house or at the scale house and they inspect it, then they will say that you're liable, even though the mechanic just did the work. Let's see. Go to, well, I'll try it again. Let me go back. Go to Ken Tool Tire Testing on YouTube. Ken, K-E-N-T-O-O-L, Tire Testing on YouTube. Be warned, it's graphic. Okay, I'll check it out when I get a chance. So like I was saying, in order to cover yourself, you got to keep a copy of any mechanical work that's been done on one. I would, like I said, I would have to say that I wonder if someone could have over torqued them, but really they put a lot of pounds on those things. I'm thinking it's more likely someone, it must have been a broke axle and a bad wheel seal or something that sheared it off. Usually it just wears the axle though, and even catches on fire and wouldn't do that. So I'm trying to figure it out how they lost them. It shows the danger of airing the tires. Yeah, I'll check it out. So anyways, they said it was about 500 pounds, which sounds about right for 2 tires. With or without the drum, I mean, that's only another 80 pounds, so it could be even with the drum attached, I don't know. Let's see, where are you? Yeah, I'm in a secretly undisclosed location, but I'm in, let's see, Kentucky. I'm in Kentucky. So anyways, these 2 tires, 500 pounds, of course he's going highway speed, but I guess he passed the rest area and they flew off the trailer. They were on the trailer, likely the passenger side if it flew off into the rest area, and they said it traveled 850 feet, okay? 850 feet is a lot of, you know, truck lengths. And then I'm at Love's in M, okay? M-I, Michigan, okay? So yeah, so the tires flew at this girl that was at this rest area. She was on spring break, and you know, they said she was actually from Lake Forest, Minnesota. So you could, I'll put the link up and you can check the rest of it, and I'm not gonna, you know, put any more information about the person, but she was evidently at the rest area, and they said that she was dead on the scene after it happened. And so I don't like to even talk about any of this stuff. I'm just going to say this: if this video and that link makes a driver double check something that might save a life down the road, whether it's a piece of your tire fixing to come off, because I'll tell car drivers all the time, do not ride close to an 18-wheeler, because if they blow a recap off these tires, a lot of these trailers, these companies want to be cheap and they run recaps, and those caps are, you know, long ways on the road. But if you're so close to an 18-wheeler that when it flies off, it could hit you in the windshield and go through your windshield, or it could cause you to wreck because it could stand up, especially the super singles. Super singles are the worst. I don't think they should even recap those, in my opinion, but they do have them, and those, when they come off, it's standing up on its side. It's a lot worse than a regular gator, and I ride motorcycles, so I'm completely against recapping super singles. It's too much rubber standing up. It never lays down, so you can't even ride over it. So anyways, here, I missed that comment because I was trying to, I didn't want to get distracted here. So let's see, I agree. Joe Gardner puts I agree. So yeah, anyways, if this video and the link and you watching that news report makes you double check something like that, and if it tells a four-wheeler that might be subscribed to me, a car driver that might be subscribed to me that, hey, you want to stay way back off these 18-wheelers, don't just ride right behind them because a tire can fly up and hit you in the windshield. And if it saved a life in that way, maybe there's got to be some good that can come out of this video. I'm not going to say out of the situation, but so I thought I would let you be aware of it because a lot of people may not be aware of it, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be looking hard at maintenance records on that trailer and see who the last person that worked on it was, because mechanics can be liable too, and I want to put that out there. If you're a mechanic, you know, you could be liable too. Joe put, got to go, brother, be safe and keep sharing. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what to do, man. I really didn't know what to do. My heart was in two different places. On the one hand, I'm like, man, I don't want to, you know, get some kind of shine off of someone else's misery, something bad or what, but at the same time, I'm like, you know, they're not, this news report ain't got out, and that's a person, you know, and I felt like they deserve the at least, if it maybe helps somehow to put the word out that it did happen. But mechanical failure is one thing. I'm really trying to get my head wrapped around of exactly what could have happened, and I'm sure they're gonna find out what happened whenever they inspect the truck, and whenever they also do a maintenance, they're gonna go back and see every person that touched that truck ever, and they're gonna go to the last one first, and they're gonna go further. They will check it out thoroughly. The NTSB will be inspecting everything. National Transportation Safety Board and the Highway Administration, and everybody will be all over that, which is good, and they'll find out, get to the bottom of it. I don't think it's an endemic problem, and that's why I'm leaning towards maybe someone just changed a wheel seal, and when they put the bearings back on, they didn't tighten them up, and maybe the whole thing broke loose. Because even if one catches on fire, if it's too tight, they usually don't lose wheels at all. I mean, you couldn't. It would just catch on fire, be too tight, and it would lock up. Tires off event, that's something where it would be too loose and wobble and break the lug nuts, and it would have to be inner and outer bud type, I think, for two rims to be locked together like that. That's all I got in my head about how the thing happened. So I'll put up a link to it. If anybody else wants to say anything, I'll give you a couple minutes here to say whatever you want to say in the live, and I'll read it. And if not, after that, I'm just going to get going. I'm going to have my orange juice, and you know, it's the end of my break. I took a little extra to take time to do this live because I thought it was important. They said that it was like I said, they said it was not the driver's fault, but I mean, you know. So if you do a pre-trip, you know, grab them lug nuts with your hands, with the gloves, for sure. Check for any kind of tires that might blow. Check it all. You know, make sure if you're about to lose a mud flap, even a mud flap coming off could cause trouble. What can you say about this? Because this is something that they weren't riding behind it, as far as I know. They were just sitting there at the rest area, just minding their own business and doing their thing. She was down there on spring break from Minnesota in Mississippi on I-10, and it was I-10 on the eastbound side near Gautier, Gautier. I believe that's pronounced Gautier. So the news report is in the Biloxi Sun Herald. I'll put up a link to that in like 2 seconds, and that's all I got. And I'm gonna get off this thing, and y'all stay safe. We'll talk to y'all later. I'll do a live whenever I get a chance. I'm out.